very muddy.
Usually we're on site, slipping around in the mud, getting it done.
Right now, there's no action on site.
This is a super special slot right in episode. If you're planning to build your dream home, stick around and learn from us so that you don't make the same mistakes.
And how you can end up still friends at the end.
How would I describe our dynamic when working together? Wow, it definitely is dynamic.
Be careful how you answer this.
But basically, it's a lot of being told what to do and listening and zero arguing.
It has to be warm. Otherwise, I won't live there.
I'll work it out.
Josh is the technical one and I am the overall vision one.
We're both,
I'm definitely not technical.
but you're detailed.
So I'm about how it looks and feels.
Nicole and I talk about like feeling vibes of places, like there's an energetic vortex.
And you're kind of like, right, how do I put it together?
All of your plans are set into like 101, 201, 301, 401. And this is in the 300 series. An elevation is a side view, still 2D.
So like the glass house, for example, you're thinking about how to build it. And I'm already like, I don't really care how it's built. I know the rug and the couch and the throws that are going in it.
Not here, no. Here under the glass house, we're gonna do a concrete floor. Would you want big concrete 1x1 grids would be fine, eh? Doing the glass house and where we put the glass house was like an epic collab. And we want this thing, and then I kept wrestling with like, how do you build a glass house on a slope? So once we've got the guts of it in place, then you skip a bunch of steps to the rug.
Can I polish it?
You could, but it'll be super slippery if it's wet. Oh, yeah, you could. Whereas I'm like, hey, tell me more about the floor because I need to build the wall and I need to know, am I doing this to this side or this side or this side? I suppose I work backwards from your vision.
So to sum that up.
I am 100% the vision as well. I wouldn't be here if I'm not vision.
So we're going to have a fight about what parts that we collab on. I really don't care how you build it.
I reckon you don't care how it's built, but you do want to know the process. You want to understand every step of the process. You want to make a decision based on knowledge. 202A looks through that line and looks that way, and that's 202A. So that is, I've sliced it. Imagine you cut it in half, because I want to know the height of that roof there.
How do I influence your approach to building?
I have to incorporate you every step of the way and explain to you what's happening. And so that like having to explain to you the steps has forced me to be a better communicator to the viewer. You have Nicole to thank because she asks me so many questions.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Why does the surveyor not find it?
The surveyor marked it on the top road
Yeah, but why didn't they find it on the land?
because it's in the ground.
But they can't put a peg on it?
The clients, often you'll say, I don't get it, why can't you do blah, blah, blah? And I'll explain it and then you're like, I get it. But then because I've explained it to you once in a practice run,
So
did
the
you not?
Plants will come here.
Yeah, green roof on that box.
They'll be like up here, right?
Yeah,
And then you won't see over them.
no,
And that will be blocked.
yeah.
I get it.
Yes, then on site, I'm like, boom, this is what's happening, this is why. And I take the client on a journey by seeking to understand, by asking a ridiculous amount of questions to everyone around you. You force everyone to get more concise at communicating their part of the job. And so the result of that process is either a solid understanding of why we do it or a like aha moment, we could do it better.
He has made me realise that there is so much to building, to the point where you know that there's a why behind everything that he's doing. As much as I question things and I know that that's annoying.
It's not annoying. 100% it's not annoying. It's otherwise I would have got pissed off 3 years ago.
I know, because it's made me realize how much there is to it. And it's not just like why is there no progress happening today? Like right now, I know that the concrete's going off. And I only know that because I had to ask so many questions. If I was just a client on that job, I'd be like, there's no action on my site today. What am I paying for? But because I've asked all these questions, I know that there's no action because we're actually waiting for that concrete to go hard. So that's like one example of many, many, many examples. Working alongside Josh this closely makes me realize how much there is to it.
And that process can seem quite clunky. And that's probably why builders clam up when they're asked questions. It's not that they don't want to ask you or they're being elusive. It's because in their mind, they're like, now I've got to do this and then this and then this and then this, but what about this? And I've got to sort out that. By her seeking to understand, it makes me a better communicator, but it also means she's in a position in the hot seat where she can communicate to everyone else. It's like we divide and conquer. I talk to my people that I see and influence, and she talks to her people, and together we update everyone. No, we never disagree. She's definitely not fiery and stubborn and strong-willed.
A specific time that we have disagreed, I think that we disagree a lot, but then I think we're good at listening to each other and we're good at understanding where the other person's coming from.
This is the back of the kids' wing. Here, like the front door. I think it's going to be like, go around that way.
Yeah. I think you get to a point where you're like, right, this is actually really important to you. You kind of work out the percentage. Like, this is actually only 20% important to me, and it seems like it's 80% important to you, so you can have this one. Knowing that when something is important to me, that you'll do the same.
80% of the time Nicole's right, and 20% of the time she gives me a win.
But I'm still right.
Yeah.
I just let him have it.
Disagreeing is a good thing. You want two people with two different opinions. You're allowed to have two different opinions. You're allowed to see the world differently. I want her perspective and I want her way of seeing things.
We could do that straight and then kick that off that way.
I really like houses that have just like gables all the way down.
Sure, in the moment that's frustrating, can be frustrating, but Nicole nailed it. It's about having the ability to listen and talk about what's important to each other and then coming together.
So like a specific example of that on that build out there is that we've actually got two single garages rather than one big double garage. And that's so that one day when Josh owns a really nice car, he can lock it away in its own special garage.
Hide it from the kids. You disagree?
Yeah, I think it'll look weird. But at the same time, I'm like, actually, I've got so many wins on this house. And I've got my glass house and my grounding zone.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, that was something that was actually quite unimportant to me. So I just let it go.
One of the areas I've seen you grow the most, you used to get insanely frustrated that a task couldn't be started and finished in a day. Whether it's code application or picking client colors or just locking in anything is ridiculously hard, right?
It's a long process.
I've seen you grow so much with chopping things into like lots of mini wins and celebrating the milestones, and also just getting everything into everyone else's court, and then like it's their job for it to come back to you.
Whatever we can get in here is awesome. If it all doesn't work, then it all just becomes push.
I would also say that you have grown into the role of an owner really well. I think for a while you doubted if you were allowed to call the shots, and at the time I reflected on the fact that I'd come into this with like years and years and years of experience, but this company and the way we work is your vision just as much as my vision, and you've had to play catch up. What's taken me 20 years to learn has taken you 3 years to learn.
How do I think you've grown? It's a hard one actually, but I think that you...
Why? Because I'm so awesome.
I think you have grown by just being kind of more sure of yourself.
I want blocks up by Thursday's a deadline for you guys, so then I can have my guys doing their bits on Friday.
Like you backed yourself and you now, I think that you've kind of got enough history of doing those kind of builds. You know what you're doing and you know you can do a good job of them. Yeah,
I think for a while I felt like it's almost like imposter syndrome. Like I knew I'd done those kind of work as an apprentice, and I knew it, and I knew that I could organize it, and I could see it in my head. But for some reason, I'm like, why do I think I'm good enough to take this on?
And then also the same in the media side of the company, kind of just finding our feet in what we produce every week.
Don't tell Nicole, we actually prefer to work in 21 degrees, not
25.
But also now we've got pretty cool partners involved in the media side of the company that kind of legitimify the fact that we're a media company just as much as we are a building company.
It's crazy. Thanks, babe.
How does it not take over our lives? I think that we separate them quite well. We come to work, and often at work we don't really talk about our build. For me, the creative kind of thinking about flooring and kitchens and looking into different products comes when I'm not at work.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Work is almost like our escape from the build. How do I balance our build and our clients' build? Well, obviously we care about all our builds equally. Today, before I got in here, I've been at 3 of them. That build up there is one of 7 jobs we've got on the go right now. During the workday, it's just an address on the board. You get real good at compartmentalizing. And so for me, I just keep doing what I do every day. We have lots of silly little rules. For example, when we get over the Rimataka Hill, if we're driving north, work chat stops, house chat stops. If we're going into town for a dinner, past the Melling Bridge, no more work talk.
And even times of night, so after dinner, no more work chat, no more build chat. Because it's weird sometimes, there's a little bit of silence and you kind of sit for 5 minutes I don't actually know what to talk to you about.
Do I even know you anymore?
Yeah, but then it's just I don't know, you have another brain spark and you're talk about a holiday or talk about friends that you saw that week or something else, and then it all kind of comes back that you're oh yeah, I am not the build and I am not my job.
And so I will sometimes say to Nicole, I need your brain for an hour. And book it in, and you've done the same to me. You're hey, I really want to go looking at the shops. Can we book that in this weekend? And so rather than just thinking in your head, by verbalizing that and booking it in, you make it happen. What's my advice to collaborate in general? I think you need to go in both open-minded and willing to hear other people's perspective, but setting a real clear brief or framework for what you need collaboration on. The best collaboration in my mind comes when you define the boundaries. Shed and parking in there, but then as you're coming in,
nice.
You don't even see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool, that'd be easy for us.
For example, if I'm talking to a builder on site, I don't need you to tell me everything about everything. I want you to tell me the specific way we're going to solve this specific problem today.
The other thing would be just know what you're good at and know when you're not in your lane and know when you don't know what you're talking about. There's actually nothing worse than a know-it-all and someone who thinks that they know every part of your job as good as you.
Do you want to talk about the surveyor, what he's doing here right now?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Well, you don't know, then we're all fine. Hey, that's a real good point. I don't feel like I approach things as a know-it-all, but I definitely felt like I had to show people that I was confident. But you can be confident without having the answer. And you can confidently say, that's a very good question, I will get back to you. Trigger. Boom. That's it. Well, for me, the decision was easy because this one here is my biggest long-term commitment yet and probably most challenging. But no, seriously, when you have a supportive partner on your side, it multiplies, it 10x's your energy. When someone believes in you and says, you're a smart man, you'll work it out, I believe in you, honestly, what could go wrong? Because even if it goes wrong, you're there together.
Was there a hesitation to building a house? No, because we've built so many houses, we knew that we could build. I think maybe the hesitation was when do we move in together was probably the biggest thing.
I think also we both had a hesitation that we wanted it to be fun.
Do I have to come down there?
You don't have to, but you should. They're your drains too. You need to know where your poo goes.
Do I?
Nah, girls don't poo, do they? We know the stress of building. So we wanted to go into this real purposeful that it wasn't going to dominate the rest of our life.
So yeah, I think the hesitation came from taking on a massive project, not so much building and not so much moving in together.
Yeah, I think we would choose to be together over building this epic house.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't this or that, it was we want to build this epic house, but more importantly, we want to live in it and we want to have a good family life. So if that's not possible, this project's not worth it.
No, and the whole thing needed to feel good. Otherwise, by the time you move in, you just hate the place.
And I'm glad to say we are having so much fun. We're going slow. We're having fun filming it. We're having fun building it. We're taking the kids there.
We have our days.
Yeah, for sure. It's like doing anything big is hard.
Yeah.
But we know when to pause.
Or to not blame each other.
Would never blame you, babe.
It's not your fault it's rained for 4 months.
No, it's not your fault we're doing slabs.
It actually is.
We care about every single home we build, and we put a lot of our life and soul and thought into all our builds. And we want every build that we do, whether it's a tiny little townhouse or a mega mansion, we want it to be something that we're very proud to put our name to and that we would happily live in ourselves. So this house is no different. It just has a few more details.
Just a couple more details.
We've just gone a little bit extra, just a tinsy bit extra. Yo, this would be the perfect time to talk about building your place. As well as doing my house on that build up there, I run a building company in the Hutt Valley. All our homes are a one-off design to suit your style, needs and budget. We'll guide you through the process start to finish, and with over 80 homes under our belt now, we would love your place to be next. Head to our website or click the link below to get in touch.
A truly uncertain moment for me would have been when the hill caved in.
Yeah, same. There was honestly that was one of my this is probably my legit worst day on site. Like borderline panic attack.
Yeah, actually makes me teary.
We made it.
I know, it wasn't nice.
The crazy thing is, I have survived 100% of my worst days ever. And that day was no different. I think, how do you survive? You walk away and take a breath to start with.
And then you start to lean on everyone that was there. You know, we had SOS on site, we had Wade on site, and they were ringing us and saying don't worry, we've got it, we've sorted it. It was quite stressful though.
Yeah. I rang a good friend, Andre, who has had his own fair share of building dramas and basically had a good chuckle about how I can relate to his building dramas. And honestly, just having a moment like that, having someone to talk to that's removed from the site and the build, but cares about you and can relate is usually the first best starting point.
So I think the logistics of it is probably we now understand where clients are coming from when they're battling with the bank, for example, or figuring out insurance. We now know that kind of back end of that. And also the feeling of your life is on hold. Our kids are growing up and we are bursting at the seams of our current house, but we're a year and a half away from being able to move into our new house. That feeling, it's maybe it is only emotional because maybe we would have stayed there regardless of if we were building or not. But the feeling of there's something just there, but we're kind of stuck here.
Man, look how magical it is, eh? Those are my favorite hills. Yeah, limbo.
Yeah.
Well, because it's even certain jobs now don't get done because we know we're going to move in a year, or furniture doesn't get brought, or even planning holidays next year where everything is revolving around the house.
Yeah.
You have to believe that it's worth it and that the life you live on the other side of that will be just as good, if not better. Most important though, it's not going to change our life, it's going to add to our life. You don't expect to get to the other side and it magically all improves.
No, and don't get me wrong, life is good. It's just, it's more the future plans and the buying of stuff and
I'm so sorry you can't buy any more stuff.
I love stuff.
I say strive for progress, not perfection. And I know that right now I don't know what I don't know about the house because I'm not in the house, sitting there, living in it, looking at things from a different perspective. So of course, I'm going to build this house and then I'm going to sit there and my mind is naturally going to be that's a weird detail. I could have done that better. I don't know what that is, but I know that now more than ever, we are putting so much thought up front into all our plans to catch all these things on all our jobs. We're collecting years and years of knowledge and trying to get that all on the paper.
I think it's inevitable that you're going to look at something and be like, should have done that different. But I think you also need to look at all the things that you won on. You could look at 100 houses and 10 of them you might have done things differently. But for the most part, you did an awesome job.
That's why you've got to be real careful on who you take feedback from, because it's real easy for someone to turn up with no backstory, no knowledge of how long it's taken you to plan and finance and build something. And then in one sentence, they can be like, oh, that's a bit weird. I wouldn't have done that. So be super careful about who you take your opinion from. And if people throw out random stuff, you got to let it be like water off a duck's back. Yo, sign up squad.
If you want to stay confident in your build, whether it's your dream house or you're doing a project that you're planning to sell off or something at the end, you have to start with knowing that your relationship with your builder is really, really solid. You have to trust the people that you're working with. You're not going to have any confidence if your builder is giving you wishy-washy answers right from the start and not showing up and not sticking to timelines. If you can't communicate with your builder, you're probably in deep water right from the get-go. After that, I would say just keep coming back to your vision, keep understanding your why.
100% I'd echo that, without a doubt. Your architect's important, your engineer's important, your whole team is important, but your builder is going to be the person spending the most time on site and is going to be your main point of contact, corralling all those other people. And so you want to be solid with them right from the start. And like Nicole alluded to, there's been so many times with that build up there where I've thought, why are we doing it this way? And then I go back through the loop. That's right, the road is there and the view is there, and we decided these things were important. And so the logical way to put that together was this. It's always the middle of something where you start to doubt. You know, the start's real fun and exciting. The end, the finish line's in sight. The middle's a grind. And that's when you start to doubt. Did I do the right thing? Why did I even do this in the first place? That's where you've got to break down a gigantic marathon into little milestones.
The hands nearly got me.
They'll get you all the time.